Hello again. Welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. Paul Schrimpf here with Eric Sfiligoj. How are you, sir?
I am good, although as we're recording this, I guess there's some storms moving through our area because I am in the bunker like you, and I think I have every light on in this room, and it still seems inordinately dark. I mean, normally in the middle of summer here, this room is so lit up, I have to close the shades because I'm having trouble. But today I got no light going on, so I guess it's and based on the way the dog has been cowering under the desk, I suspect the storm is on its way.
Yep, which means it's on its way to me, but a little later since you're slight west of me.
Yeah, you got me by 20 minutes, Paul. Come on.
Yeah, well, it's getting a little dark, but it's not that common yet. So I'll expect that. I'll expect that shortly. It's been an interesting week. I got the news that Growmark is partnering up with Indigo, and with retail, looking very closely at carbon programs and how to participate. It was an interesting development. I would be of the view that Indigo really does need some partners out there to get some of the things that they're gathering up to out in the markets and being used. And Growmark, I talked to Lance Rupert briefly earlier this week on the technology side. He was pretty much in charge of looking and vetting out partners, which he's been doing probably for the last 6 months or so, maybe a little bit longer than that, so at the end of last year. And they selected Indigo as a partner. He said they were very open and transparent, and really willing to discuss the offers that they were that they had available. From Growmark's part, no one should expect lightning bolts here. I think it's a great way to get started. They feel like they have a partner now that they can work with to help growers kind of understand what the carbon markets are all about, how they can participate. There's ways to get involved right away, but there's also it's a slow, it's kind of a slow, easy pace to get into. What we would expect would be more of a factor in 2, 3, 4 years down the road, as opposed to we need to hop in now. They are encouraging growers to get involved, but also to learn early. Maybe try a handful of acres to see how it works. Work through some programs and give it a shot and learn along the way, which is a great attitude to have at this point with carbon. It's such a wild west. Getting partnerships, working with other companies is probably the best way to really get your feet into it without getting yourself, over your head in risk. It's complex and it's different, and everyone needs to learn and kind of be available to that. Growmark is a great way to kind of get in the middle of a company trying to bring carbon credit opportunities to growers and the growers themselves. So I think it sounds like a really good approach. They have a good attitude about it and a really good approach. We'll kind of see over the next probably 6 to 12 months how this plays out.
Yeah, well, it'll be good, Paul, because I know I did a story on carbon credits earlier this year, and I was talking to several of the big ag retailers, and none of them were entirely certain how ag retail was going to play into the whole carbon credits equation. But now that Growmark is partnering with Indigo Ag, I mean, that brings, based on our last CropLife 100, about 585 locations that are under the Growmark banner into the fold to get this initiative moving along. So I don't see that as a bad thing. I mean, probably the more folks that get involved, the easier this initiative will have going forward.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, just from the shows that we've had and we've attended and things that we've seen, everybody constantly says the growers need more information. They need to be brought up to speed. The industry has to share more about this and how to get into it. It has to be more open and transparent. It's like things are coming to growers, and growers are pushing back, saying, we need more information, and they need to get paid. They need a clear benefit to doing this, or they're not going to. So I think it'll be, as excited as people are about the potential for it, we all know intuitively that this is going to be a slow slog of a process, and we're going to need to learn along the way. So let's try some things, take some minimal risks and learn, and hopefully this will become something of major importance to growers, over the next, as I said, 2, 3, 5 years.
Yep. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens as we go forward with this.
You bet. So what you got, sir?
Well, actually, a couple of bits of information on the consolidation/merger front. I know a few videos ago, we talked about the fact that Gowan company had finalized its purchase of Isagro, S.P.A. out of Spain. And that deal went down, and now after it has been completed, or as it's being completed, Gowan's going to be integrating Isagro's business into its own by taking it private from a public company. So again, that will be taking place here over the next month or so, and then Gowan's going to remain headquartered in Yuma, Arizona, where they've been. So for folks who have seen the Isagro name out in the marketplace, it'll be being replaced by the Gowan name fairly shortly.
Yeah, well, I guess consolidation continues, and good luck to the entities as they continue to put that together. What else do you have, sir?
Well, also on the consolidation front, Paul, it seems like we're just now getting to the midway point of August, and it has been the norm this year that we have seen ag retailers consolidating quite readily in the market, and we've got another one to report on, Paul. Our friends at MaxYield Corporation had their members take a vote here in July, and they've agreed to join formally with New Cooperative out of Fort Dodge, Iowa. And again, Paul, these are two Iowa cooperatives. We've seen quite a bit of activity in the cooperatives in Iowa merging. So now MaxYield's going to be folding into New Cooperative, and I guess unsurprisingly, they're actually going to be adopting the New Cooperative name, since they'll now be a new cooperative. Boy, that was hard to get through. I'm sorry. And for those who are wondering, MaxYield's always kind of ranked in the 60s, 70s of our CropLife 100, but I'm sure merged with the New Cooperative folks and adding their revenue together, they probably will be somewhere in the 40s, I would imagine, when we complete our CropLife 100 2021 survey.
Yes, yeah, and speaking of that, the survey is going out shortly, right? And are we doing a little bit of a different method? Do you want to talk about that, just so people are aware of what's coming?
Well, yeah, actually, yes, Paul. Thank you for that segue. Yes, the CropLife 100 form, by the time this video airs, hopefully will be out. And if you haven't gotten one in your inbox, it'll be showing up shortly after this video is viewed by you. But yes, normally we send out an email to the individual companies with attachments, a Word doc for folks who want to fill in a Word doc and get it back to us, or a PDF that you're able to manipulate. And that is actually about 80% of the folks last year, 85%. Filled into PDF and sent that back to us. But this year, we actually are going to have a form available that you can fill in online. Seems to be the way the world has gone here after COVID in 2020, that instead of physically filling in something by hand or using it on your computer, that you just go online, you fill it in, and you're done with it. So there will be a link in the email as well. So you'll have 3 different methods to fill in this year's CropLife 100 form and return it to us. And please, as always, return it to us, because that is the only way we can give you the most complete information on the largest ag retailers in the country by sale. You bet.
I mean, this is something that we turn into a digital piece anyway. In general, we take those forms and we, or do all the aggregate data, we put those in. But this is a way for hopefully that will save us a little bit of a step. It'll be a little bit easier for those of us that are more familiar with working at a keyboard to actually key the information in, and it's secure. It's still, the data is still kept completely private and everything. Please feel confident that information continues to be secure and safe. But if you, of course, if you still prefer to do that, you can reach out to Eric, and you can fill out a traditional form if you wish. But it would be great if we could get a lot of folks using the digital form, which again, it's a hopefully simpler, more secure way to submit your information. But however you prefer, we just need the information so we can do that thorough reporting on what's happening with the top retailers in the country.
Amen, Paul. Now, see, you almost made me now feel guilty because you're giving me such a nice little plug and segue for the CropLife 100. I almost hate to say that it's time for your favorite part of the show, fun with numbers.
Yay! That's holding a
yes,
stick.
and this week, Paul, I have a monster number for you, which should give you a real good clue by itself what we're talking about. And then the clue should nail it down. So, all right. Your number this week, Paul, is 131,000. And your clue is U.S. crops.
U.S. crop?
U.S. crops. So just think about things we've talked about over the last couple of months, and where would a big number like that apply when you're looking at one particular U.S. crop?
Oh my gosh. See, it doesn't help that you set it up as an easy answer, because then it makes me look even dumber. So thanks for that, because I really don't know, unless it has something to do with exports again. But I don't know.
Yes,
Well, I get half of
absolutely
a ding.
correct.
Yay.
The bells are going off. Good man. Yes, 131,000, Paul. I got to take off my glasses to read here because it's a little small print. According to exporters, U.S. exporters, in the last week here, so this be mid-August, they've reported a sale of 131,000 tons of soybeans to China. So for folks who were wondering if China was going to keep having its appetite for U.S. grown soybeans, the answer is yes. They are still they're still importing quite a bit, and like I say, U.S. exporters say this is another good contribution to the total U.S. export number for 2021. So it'll be interesting to see, Paul, when we do our video come January 2022 or February, whenever they have the final export numbers available, what the final number is going to be. But I know the year was trending towards a record when it comes to exports to China from the U.S.
Excellent. So were you gonna talk at all about now? We actually have you have some travel exploits coming up. Not next week, the week after next, right?
Yes, week after next, I'm going to be at the MAGIE show, and then I'm actually going to be coming into Bloomington, Illinois on the 24th of August while exhibitors are setting up, and then the actual show takes place on the 25th and 26th. For those who may not know, it's the 40th anniversary of the MAGIE show, so they're going to have a couple of special guests, and they're going to have a nice send-off for the recently retired president, Gene Payne, Wednesday evening at the tailgate party, and we'll also be handing out the Showstopper award. We had to skip last year because there was no MAGIE, but Showstopper's coming back. So, and it sounds like, based on everything I've heard, there's going to be a lot of new products vying for the title of Showstopper at 2021 event. So if you're interested, please attend. And if you cannot, then watch our video sometime in early September, and chances are you'll be able to see what was voted the Showstopper at the event.
Yeah, it'd be excellent to see all this stuff in person. It's been so long. Yeah. I want to get behind a rig. I wish I was going. Oh.
Yeah, it'll be fun, Paul. And again, I know, MAGIE is always good for getting together with people and talking, and so it's an outdoor event. I know there's some concerns about indoor events when it comes to COVID, but hey, the only time you're indoor at MAGIE is when you happen to be in the registration area picking up your name badge. But most people, and even that building's rather spacious. So even then, though, other than that, you're pretty much outside the whole time. So it should not be difficult to maintain distance if you're worried, or if you want to wear a mask, you can. But I'm sure most of us there will be maskless and enjoying the fresh air and good company, not to mention good food.
Excellent. Sounds good, sir. I think that's it for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. Appreciate it.
Yes.
And wait a minute, what? You got
No, I
more?
said that you are correct. That is all we've got this week. And then next week, maybe we'll have possibly a special edition of CropLife Retail Week, as sort of a teaser as to what's going to be at the MAGIE show. So stay tuned for that.
Very good. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.